Celebrity Cruises is being accused in federal court of storing a dead body in a ship's drinks cooler. I'll give you the updates on this potentially horrifying story. Plus, if you play stupid games, you're probably going to win stupid prizes. And that includes if the game is fishing off the side of your cruise ship. And there's a new skyscraper in New York City. This one's painted white, and she floats on her side. Let's roll the intro. Welcome to the Midships channel. I'm your Captain Corey. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. It's amazing to have you here. We've got some cruise news to get into, but I want to remind you here as we're getting started, I've got this package here that was sent to me by none other than Emma Cruises, and I'm going to open it a little bit later on in today's episode, so make sure you stay tuned so you don't miss out on that part. But let's roll right into the cruise news now with this story, this accusation of improper storage of a corpse by Celebrity Cruise Lines. This is a strange one, y'all, so buckle up. Now, it's important to know that these are only allegations at this point. They come from a lawsuit that is currently in Florida federal court. Now, I'm going to read you some excerpts about this story from the Miami News Times. So let's get started here. Last summer, after an elderly passenger died of a heart condition during their celebrity cruise, in this case, his celebrity cruise, the cruise line allegedly advised his wife, who was on board as well, of two options to allow her husband's remains to be removed and returned to the U.S. The first option was the wife and the deceased could disembark in Puerto Rico, or option B, which at the time seemed like the better one, is the cruise ship would store and transport the deceased in the ship's morgue for the remainder of the sailing, and they could just simply disembark in the U.S. when the ship returned to port. Obviously, that's the vastly better option for an American citizen, so that was the option that the wife chose. And 6 days later, when Celebrity Equinox got back to Fort Lauderdale, a local funeral home employee met the ship in port to retrieve the deceased. When they went into the morgue, though, there was no body. Instead, they were directed to a pallet on the floor of a drink cooler, one of those walk-in beverage coolers by the sound of it. And this is all alleged, mind you, in the lawsuit. Now, the funeral employee is on record in the lawsuit as seeing drinks placed outside and around the cooler where the corpse was stored. And without getting into too many details, because we are on YouTube, you can typically store a deceased person in a morgue at cool temperatures for weeks or months without seeing too much decay. But if they're stored improperly, well, you'll quickly see decay. And the latter is what was noted at the time when the funeral home employee picked up the corpse on board Celebrity Equinox. He noted a significant amount of decay. Now, this recently filed lawsuit is on behalf of the wife, daughters, and grandchildren of the deceased. They're demanding about $1 million in damages for the family members, most of which are Florida residents. They say that knowing that their husband and father or grandfather was so callously and casually left in a walk-in beverage cooler stripped him of his dignity in the sacred time just after his passing. It leaves a mental image that will surely never exit their memory. And now for Celebrity Cruise Line's part, they've not come out with a statement. They've not released any comments on these allegations or about this lawsuit. It's very important, though, that you know that every cruise ship that you're going to be sailing on in this day and age, at least the large ones, they're legally required to have a morgue on board. And some ships are even capable of holding up to 10 people in those morgues at the same time. So it's very strange that Celebrity Equinox would have stored a deceased person in a walk-in beverage cooler. It raises a lot more questions on hygiene, ethics, morality. Did they just have to come up with a solution because their morgue broke down? Go ahead and chime in with your thoughts on this strange story in the comments down below. And let's remember to be respectful because someone has passed away. But yeah, this is a strange one and I wanted to share it with you. Now we need to talk about fishing poles. Fishing poles for your next cruise. And I'm going somewhere with this one. One thing that you're not going to find, though, in the Midships Amazon store is fishing poles. That's because you can't fish from on board a cruise ship. as you're about to find out here. But what you will find in that store is all of the things I take with me every single time I cruise, from passport holders, luggage tags, to one really cool fan. Check it out. There's a link in the description down below. It's the best way to support my work. Now let's talk about fishing from a cruise ship. Recently, a video went viral showing two cruise passengers on a Carnival ship fishing from their balcony in the port of Nassau and actually catching a fish. Now, from the video, you could tell that these were people who haven't cruised before, at least not with Carnival, because look, they have blue cards. Yes, the infamous blue card. Now, don't be embarrassed if you yourself are a blue card, because everyone that's ever sailed with Carnival has been a blue card at one point or another. It just means that you've not cruised with that line before. So in this video, which I'll play over here, you can see a man actually pulling up a fish onto the balcony. Now, I'm not a fishing expert, but I know how to catch them if I need to, so I don't really know what fish this is. But according to Carnival Cruise Line, fishing from on board one of their ships is strictly prohibited. And as you can see, they have quite clearly fished from their balcony, which means Carnival has officially banned this couple for life from sailing on their ships. There you go. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, catch a cool fish. Just because you can fish from your little boat back home doesn't mean you can fish from that big Carnival boat down in the Caribbean. I bet somebody is about to correct me in the comments and remind me it's a ship, not a boat. I understand. Well, there's a new skyscraper on the horizon in New York City, and this one popped up seemingly overnight as MSC Cruise Line has brought their ship, the Meraviglia, to her new home port at the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal. The massive first-in-class Meraviglia will now sail year-round from the Big Apple, taking cruisers down to the Bahamas, Florida, Bermuda, Canada, all kinds of cool places. New York City is now officially MSC Cruise Line's third home port in the USA, and they expect it to be there year-round in perpetuity. So good news for all of you Northeasterners, Northeasternites, people who live up in the Northeast. You now have a cruise home port with a really nice ship, really close to your backyard. All right, it's time for me to open this cool little package that Emma Cruises has sent me. So I'm going to go ahead and pop out my knife. Safety first. And as I'm doing that, I want to remind you that the Cruise Confessionals podcast launches this week. So if you've not yet gotten to me your fun, saucy, naughty, or otherwise interesting cruise confessional story, please send it to me at this address, podcast@midshipscruise.com, so I can get it included in one of the first pilot episodes that launches later this week. Anyways, let's see what we have here in this package. Let me go ahead and cut into it a little bit here. Put this down. So if you don't know, on the platform, there are other creators in addition to me, and they're mostly all that I've met, amazing people. And one of those amazing people, her name is Emma from the channel Emma Cruises. And she recently partnered with a group called Midships to do a fundraiser for their charitable works. And as part of that, she turned her beautiful orange cat into a plushie. His name is Hudson, and I now want to reveal to you my plush Captain Hudson. Now, this is from Emma Cruises, but I did purchase this with my own money, but I just wanted to show you. Cool, cool, cool. Love my little Captain Hudson. What a great little project that Emma worked on. Congratulations for all the money that you raised. I think Captain Hudson's going to hang out here on the set for a while. Looks like a good spot, huh? If you made it this far into today's episode, please make sure you get subscribed to the channel and smash that thumbs up button if you want to prove to me that you love cruising as much as I do. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel today, and until next time, we'll see ya on the Midships. You know, all that talk of Captain Hudson kind of makes me want to get my little captain, Claire, over here. I'm going to fake her out with this bag. She might think it's the treat bag. Claire, come on, Bubba. We got a winner. Hi. Snatched. This is Claire. If you've not been around the channel all that long, Claire is she's my office administrator. She helps me with all the episodes, sits right next to me while I type up my scripts, read the news, and she usually sits across the room and stares at me while I'm recording these episodes. Claire, would you like to meet Captain Hudson? Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? Here we go. Well, I gotta get the thumbnail. Okay, we'll let you go. See you tomorrow. Ow! Ooh, those nails are sharp. La 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 la